This is the continuation of part 2. I don't know why the thing cut off. I think, well, technically speaking, I checked everything and hopefully this will end when I ended and not by itself, no? Anyway, to get back to the Torah, in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 12, there's a very interesting pasuk or verse. It says, a set time will be allotted for the continuation of the daily offering because of sin. We know that the daily offering has been continued because our lips take the place of bulls. And it says in the book of Hosea, the second verse of the last chapter, that let our lips take the place of bulls. It was prophetic. He knew that there was going to be a time like this. And therefore, he provided for us that when the Jewish people take their Siddurim, which is their prayer books, and pray Mincha and Mariv, which are the morning and the afternoon prayers, we add Karbanot, which is the sacrifices, red. And according to the prophet, it's as if we went to the Beit HaMikdash, which is where God commanded us to make these prayers, not prayers, to make the sacrifices. That's the temple in Jerusalem, for those who don't know Hebrew. And make the sacrifice. I've said that many times in other videos, that we now just read the sacrifices and it works. And there's never going to be anything or anyone that makes permanent sacrifices for sins, because if you read in Ezekiel from chapter, I believe it's from chapter 38 until the end of the book of Ezekiel, which I believe is 48, you will see all the details of the third temple, which will be built in Jerusalem, which will last forever, and sacrifices of animals, not people, animals, will continue there by the priesthood, which is the Kohanim, which is how God commanded everything to be. They had to be perfect animals. There's many details in the scriptures, right? But getting back to Daniel 8:12, so it says that the discontinuation of the daily offerings, so we read them now, because of sin. They were stopped, the last temple was destroyed, and all Jews are taught that the second temple was destroyed because of gossip. Gossip is a very terrible sin. And even if it's true about another person, but it makes you, it makes the person you're talking to about it, if you gossip to another person, not only do you sin, but you make them sin just by listening. And it was such a terrible set of sins that God took away the temple at that time again. Anyway, getting back to 8. Oh my goodness. What else is going to happen? I guess if something doesn't like what I'm doing, I'm sure about that. Let's come back. Hopefully. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay. In spite of all this craziness, we are going to make this video. Yes. Isn't he? I'm the only one here, but there are angels here too, and Hashem is here. Okay, so I will, and sin, it will be thrown, let me see, because of sin, the truth will be thrown to the ground, and it will achieve and prosper. I heard the Holy One speaking, and the Holy One said to the anonymous one who was speaking, until when this vision concerning the daily offering and the mute abominations allowing the trampling of the Holy One and the host. And he said to me, until midnight, morning, 2300, and then the Holy One will be rectified. So there's a lot of mystical understanding to the scriptures. I have a Jewish Torah Bible here. And under verse 13 it says, a mute idol with which the conqueror will replace the daily temple offerings. And that's a Rashi commentary. And we know who the idol is. Oy, oy, oy. Anyway, this video is 5 minutes. Please find the first part of part 2. This is the second part. The main purpose in part 2 of the conspiracy of the church is to clarify this conspiracy. And the purpose of teaching this is for people to know who is God and what is truth, and that we shouldn't be praying in anybody's name. Just say, dear God, state whatever it is you need from God, and then say Amen. And God is not general public. God is the Holy One of Israel, Hashem. He has many names in the Torah in Hebrew. We do not use his name in vain because of the 10 Commandments. And therefore, all of the Orthodox Jewish people in this entire world say Hashem, because it means the name. Not just any name, the name. And the only God has only one, the name. Yes? Anyway, it's been approved by our entire nation, so we're good with that. And I want to continue on because all of these conspiracies were done in order to convince people, especially Jewish people, that that JC's God. And even in Israel, in today's world, and Baruch Hashem, bless God that the government stopped it, but they started a Christian radio station over there in Israel to try to teach children how to do idolatry by believing that JC's God. Oh my goodness. Why? Because we're supposed to be a light to the nations. And we cannot be, we can bring some light, but you cannot say to God, well, you know what, I'm going to do idolatry in order to serve you or to make other people see other things in your Torah. No, the first and foremost person that has to be doing right is yourself. You have to do a self-check system according to what the Torah says. And for you guys who are in church for whatever reason, that is what the church calls the Old Testament. There's enough truth in there for you to see what's going on. The problem is, if you just depend on what the church teaches you, they're not going to show you all these truthful verses and passages that clarify things. You're going to have to study it on your own, or with somebody who knows. And if you stay within the context of the things of the church, of different branches of church, if whatever, of certain translations, of this and that, you stay in that box. So come out of the box and start learning what is truth. May the Almighty help you to hunger and thirst for that truth, because the truth will set you free. You don't even know you need freedom yet. And maybe the church freed you from a little bit of sin because it teaches some things. But doing idolatry with those some things still has the garbage cans of heaven being dumped on you in some way. So let's clean up our act, huh? Anyway, I wish you blessings, and I wish you goodness, and I wish you the will and the ability to study truth. Shalom, shalom.